Yeah. So, believe it or not, I've got some information to disclose that is pretty heavy, and I understand what is possibly going to come of it for me, but I'm not going to sit silently back while this kind of thing happens. And I've been trying to get this out for so long, and this happened to my son, and during this whole thing, there has been a lot of mind fucking. They've been trying to mess with my mind, run all sorts of narratives that aren't real, I guess, to confuse me so that I don't bring out correct information. So, yeah, very careful process. Like, the narratives that they run have been absolutely fucking ridiculous. I'm not even gonna lie, like, ridiculous. Every single day, these people beat their head against a brick wall. They just get nowhere. The stupidest things that they're trying to get out of me or run by me is mind-blowing. And it's repeated, like, day after day, the same thing's repeated. So this is not even people that are learning. They're not evolving. So I started, like, questioning even if it was AI, because I'm like, there's no growth here. Like, every single day they're still coming back with that same narrative that they got no response from or found out the truth, and then they just come back again with it. Like, it's mind-numbingly stupid. And I even started thinking that was possibly the idea behind it, was to torture me with stupidity year after year, because no one can be this stupid. Like, you just can't. Yeah, I mean, they're dropping names, like, I can't even think of anything off the top of my head that is stupid enough right now, without looking through my paperwork. But I'm gonna say one thing, like, I just hope people aren't seeing me. Like, I really wanted to put this video up and just not even be here, because this isn't about a person. And I don't want that to block people's perception of what's happening here and what's going on, because looks are very deceiving. And this has been an extensive cover-up, extensive. And like I said, I'm a mum who's lost my son. He's lost a great deal, and that's reality. And these people are working very hard to block that from even being seen by anybody who wants to know the truth. People who do this kind of work that don't give a shit about these people, like, I don't fear your shit anymore at all, on any level. Like, you are nothing to me at all, and I've proven that to them. So physically, on a 3D level, they can come step to me and make an example of me and be like, this is going to happen to you if you speak up, like this mum did. And I've even heard them writing all over the neighborhood here, saying that this is what's you don't want this to happen to you. This is what's going to happen to you if you don't keep your mouth shut. Okay? So I'm sorry, this is not. If you keep your mouth shut, this is going to happen to you. This is. Sorry, something just flashed up. Yeah, see, that goes super hard. See, I'm really not interested in convincing anybody. I'm going to sit here and just bring out this information. It feels like the last thing I have to do now, to just get this done. I don't care about anything for myself. I'm pretty sure I'm going to be homeless very soon, because I was comfortable in a place at Northfield for 7 years, and made it a really nice home, actually, for me and my son. There was a park across the road, like, really happy. A lot of wildlife and trees, really beautiful. you know, old house, but, you know, the nature and the surroundings were really good for us. So, yeah, all of a sudden I was asked to leave. Well, not leave, but my lease was up and I had to leave. And this was directly after a friend had come to visit me who I suspected was involved in this anyway. I was asked to leave my house. Obviously, I've got no family support because they've corrupted every member of my family or have involved them, or I don't know. I have no contact with anybody anymore. I don't speak to anybody anymore. Not even... When I sit here and say that, it used to be like I don't speak to anybody except for my son. But now he's not in my house. He's not living with me. He's staying at his father's. And it's hard for me without breaking down, so I'm going to move on. I was happy in the place at Northfield for 7 years, and then was asked to leave randomly. Suspiciously, they ran a really quick campaign where they try and sell the house. I don't know, really quick. So it was 2 weeks of bombardment of getting it ready for them to do that. I was shocked, actually, to get approved for anywhere, because everywhere I went, I could hear people laughing and sniggering behind my back, saying she's never going to get a place, you know, no one's ever going to approve her. And even the real estate agents were saying the same thing. They were laughing at me as I walked through with my son. So this was really confusing to me, the reaction I was getting from people. Like, I just actually couldn't understand, and I still can't. I know there's a podcast or something set up where people are slandering me, but I'm not sure of the extent and why people have bought it like this. Like, that was really confusing. In 2017, when my son was trafficked, there was a home invasion that police attended, and one of the officers point blank admitted to me that he was a trafficker. And then they put me in an ambulance against my will and sent me to Lyell McEwen Hospital. And kept me there and, yeah, basically called me paranoid schizophrenic while they trafficked my son for that period of time. And I'm pretty sure that there's a lot of people blocking that from being seen, like, as in... Here we go, see? You can always tell when you're touching on something. So that happened, and that was reality. I was held in that hospital against my will. Yeah, plastic on the mattresses, two-way mirrors in the showers, being targeted. I do fear for a couple of people that were in there as well. I don't know what the situation was, but I do know that I wasn't the only one who was a target. And I think the others were affiliates of whoever these people were. And yeah, I do fear for a couple of those people that I think were in the same position as me. It became quickly evident that everybody was under the same kind of treatment. I mean, me and the girls that I'm concerned about, because we figured out we may have earpieces put in. Everybody started hearing someone communicate with them, which is not something normal for anybody to have someone in your head immediately. And there was one woman that was on suicide watch, and I could hear her in her room smashing her head against the cupboard, and, you know, screaming, "Get out of my head." I don't think people can kind of comprehend what that kind of torture is like and what results it gets. Luckily, over time, I managed to turn mine down, so it wasn't really a problem. And I could give a fuck about any of these people anyway. Like, they're going to be concerned to face me when it comes to Judgment Day. So there is not like even a particle in my mind that has any kind of fear or inferiority towards them, and they know this. I've slammed them constantly, and that's proven it to myself and to them. So the earpiece was the first part. Obviously things went more spiritual. Things went spiritual later on when they realized who I was, and that I had abilities and things like that. So there's the place I was in at Northfield that I was just asked to leave a year ago. I was approved for this place, and I'm not sure why like that was. I'm still suspicious about that, but I'm going to move back to Northfield for a second, because this is extremely important, and I've got like 100 hands around my neck and like a ton of weight on my back right now. I'm just going to come out and say it. There's a few houses at Northfield that I think are involved in trafficking children, and I have tried to weed through the stuff that might be absolute bullshit, and I can't believe that anybody would ever like put on acts to this effect. No one would ever act out such insanity. If that were the case, then they really need to be put in hospital. So I think there's a lot of blocking going on with Northfield, the area. I know I've put a few pieces of the puzzle together, but I'm just going to come out and relay what I've picked up unconsciously from the night. Just sitting on the back step having a smoke, and like unconsciously you pick up things, and then later on like you can kind of go back and do little remote viewing. So go back to that moment and just kind of like, and then you start picking up things. That was all good for me in the beginning. Now they've even gotten wise to that. So yeah, as I will kind of like reflect on memories, they'll come in and try and plant what you call screen memories, like fake stuff. And the second that I see them doing that, this female will go, see, she believes us. It's hilarious. Like, this cannot be. I'm between two minds that this is AI and this is not, because I don't know, that does not sound like AI to me. It sounds like some dumb bitch. You know what I mean? Like, see, she believes us. Like, that is not AI. Like, I don't think. So yeah, I have no idea. Like, I'm completely confused about that. But there are houses. I just want to push through without having a break, because no one can sit here and say this. Like, you can't sit here and say this. Like, without wanting to rip someone apart. You can't. So there was a night, whether this was a staged performance or not, I'm not sure. Either way, I'm going to tell it. So there was a night, sitting out the back, and all of a sudden I hear like some sort of screaming, or like footsteps slapping, slapping down the road, as if someone's like running weird or being dragged or something. Like, and I don't really remember much after that. Kind of come inside, and where it was quiet, and I was just like thinking about that, and then yeah, then realized what was kind of going on. So I'm sitting there and okay, yeah, they're going really hard. This is not what they want told. This is not what they fucking want told. And if this is an act, these people, they need to go in hospital. Like, they need to be in hospital. So I heard a small child ripped from her mother's arms as her mum was dragged off to a car meters away. That was the slapping, the feet. And I hear some feral yeah, I can't, this is not for YouTube, female's voice, laughing and carrying on and giggling and saying, oh, that's enough, you know, okay, you're done now. As she took this child from her mother. Days went on, and see, this kind of thing cannot be an act. Days went on, and I could have sworn that I was hearing like a little girl crying. I know it was a little girl. It definitely sounded like a little girl. A little girl crying in a house in Brown Street, on the corner of Brown and Sterling, staggered a bit further back, which is now 2 new developments, and there's a lot of new developments going up around there, surprisingly. Houses are being torn down left, right and center. The one that I was in now, completely, like, they've stripped it bare, as in all the trees are gone. There were massive, beautiful, giant trees. One even had a tree spirit in it that I used to sit out the back every night. And this gorgeous, I do have a photo of him, a beautiful big kind of bush was covering this tree, so it sort of looked like a big Christmas tree sort of thing. And with a face, it's crazy. It was so beautiful. And so, you know, I had a lot of activations in that place because of all the wildlife and the trees and things like that. And my gifts were just going off. Yeah, see, trying to distract me and make me look like a fool. I kind of don't need help doing that anyway. I'm a bit kooky, but this is next level. So a few days passed, and I swear I could hear this little girl crying, and like very faintly. I hear a male's voice say, please bear in mind that this whole time I thought I was being like completely messed with. Like that they were trying to get me locked up again so that they could take me out. Because the second you speak up to anybody, they're going to come down on you like a ton of bricks. That's how I ended up in hospital. The second they knew that I was not going to keep quiet, I needed to be hospitalized. So that's where my head was at through this whole thing. And I've picked up so much more information from just going back and absorbing, and the fact that I am completely what's the word? Aware. Way more aware, you know, like, of what's going on around me than I guess most people, because of the fight and flight. Initially, you know, having people trying to kill you for 8 years kind of does that. Heightens your instincts a lot. See? These people know that their time's coming now. And it's game over. so I heard that little girl crying. And I want to think that this is a fake story. I would really prefer that. I hear some guy saying, I'm not going to sit here while she's crying. And someone saying, well, she needs her mother. Initially, when they trafficked my son, there was talks about having me mother him, because they want you to, they want these kids to last as long as possible. So sometimes they will take the mother as well, or do it right in the home. Right, you know. Sometimes, a lot of what I'm saying is sometimes these kids don't even get taken. Totally what I thought might be unrelated, but now I'm starting to think might be related to this incident with this little girl is another night I was sitting out there and I distinctly heard a man being dragged out of a house, because I could hear people, or a couple of guys, sort of, you know, what do you call it, berating him, you know, like, move it kind of thing, and then being shoved in the boot, someone saying put him in the boot, and I hear this man saying you don't have to do this, and still not sure who that is, if that's maybe the father of this child. And after picking up this information, other pieces from even before that started to fit. So I had another experience on a night where people kind of need to understand that I do conscious projection. So I can pick up, I can grow out a little bit, if that makes sense, and sort of pick up what's going on around me. And I don't think that's unusual when we're talking about things of a tribal nature either. These are just natural gifts that everybody has, but it's just that I was targeted for so long like that, that became like fully activated for me. So yeah, another night I had heard a man's voice asking someone to go get the deed to the house in exactly the same vicinity as this girl crying, like this whole event taking place. I hear someone asking him to go get the deed to the house, and after a bit, I hear him sort of telling him what was going to happen. So after the money goes in, you're going to transfer, you're going to do this. So I don't think these people were getting anything. This was a standover tactic. These people weren't invited into their home. Directly across from this house, there is a 2-story, same street, Brown Street, right up near the corner on Sterling. I was 9 Sterling, right there. So there's a cluster of houses, and there was a 2-story right across from that. And I know these people are involved, and I'm pretty sure they have connections with I'm not gonna assume, actually. I'm not gonna assume anything, because that could be incorrect. But I have heard people arriving there that sound kind of official, not official, like they have clout. And yeah, these people used to create a hell of an amount of torment every time I sat down to do a video back at the house. There were people screaming in the streets. There just ruckus. Often heard them talking about cleaning money, dirty money, and no one's ever going to find out, all this kind of thing. They actually moved out right before me. So this is an Italian family, and it's older parents, a younger girl, a couple of younger guys, but this young girl often had phone conversations with other girls. And this is where I've heard a lot of this stuff about my son. Like, this is some bitch living over the back from me with my son's name in her mouth while she's on a phone conversation talking about my son. It's so hard not to smash your phone into oblivion, because I have no one would even front up for this. You're never going to front up to me after what you've done. So they just count on you brewing all this anger because you've got nowhere to put it. They're not going to show up. They sit back laughing like little rats. I heard this bitch having a phone conversation with another girl, and all my information is exactly precise. I'm not going to say anything. I'm not even going to speculate. So if anyone wants to read any of it, I'm wide open. I do not care. And when it comes to telepathy, you have to be. And we all understand everyone's human and stupid, but evil ferals are evil ferals, right? They're not human. We need to realize that these people are not human. And they are against life. They're enemies of life, basically. So I heard during this phone conversation 2 people that have wombs, that were gifted wombs. And she's saying, you know, this kid's a handful. You're sure the girl's going to be able to raise him once the mum's dead? The girls have assured me they will. The girls have assured me that they can handle it. Now, these girls that are supposedly being spoken about, I'm assuming are part of this pedo ring, prostitution ring. And I couldn't give a fuck what you do. I've worked in many different positions, and I would never judge another woman. I would never harm another woman, and I would certainly never harm another child for anything, for any fucking reason, for any amount of money, for anything. Children don't consent. They don't make that choice. You're a little confused with this. Like, really confused. Jet is my baby. I grew him for 9 months. And yeah, I was very happy to show him the world and how to operate in it and help guide him, and still do, obviously, have an intense amount of love for my son. Love that these people could never understand. And I think that's actually what scares them, is should they ever confront me, they know the power that I have. Because they know I was a damn good mum. They watched me for 8 years. They know this. Amongst other things. So this is what it is. And pretty disgusting. And we all wish that we could just look away from it at this point. And Me personally, I'm not even in this. I kind of am. I have a different perspective now. You know, I'm looking down, like, not down. I'm looking through Leanne, as in, like, wow. Just a different, like, perspective. Yeah, the entire room is full right now. The entire room. You have no idea how many triggers I've pulled. No idea. And I'm a private person. I wasn't even the kind of person that ever wanted to be seen. Like, very shy and introverted. And I've basically been raped and violated in the worst possible way that anyone could ever be. And that's just me. I'm just the mum. My personality even has been observed and just picked by vultures for all the parts that they like. Everything I've ever done in my life, like having this 24/7 psychic thing, psychic watch with Paul, watching everything and relaying it to all these people, you know. It leaves you very hollow. But not in a bad way. Like, free is maybe a better way to put it. Like, there's nothing really that phases you anymore. Anything that could have ever been done to me has already been done, so there's nothing that could ever be offered. No one can ever give back what Jet's lost. No one can ever give that back to him. So anyone can offer that, then we'll talk. But yeah, there's a lot of blocking going on right now, and anyone who wants to know the truth, because they have daughters and wives and etc. and are sick of this shit, basically. Not saying that they want to go out and do anything, but just saying that, you know, information is being armed. Definitely. Then yeah, just there's a lot of blocking and all intercepting going on, and the fact that Paul is attached to my energy, I'm concerned of how I'm being read, and like why everyone's looking at me the way that they are when it's the exact opposite as I would have expected. You know, I've basically been spit on in the street, or had worse than that. People try and fuck me over wherever I go. It doesn't matter if it's the shops, if it's the dentist. The dentist has done some horror work on my teeth. I went in to have some stuff done from all the trauma damage because I was traveling really well until, not that I give a shit about that, but I'm just talking. Yeah, and then they're just like on me 24/7. I don't know if these people are like actually viewing through a two-way mirror here in the house, or if there's portals going on. But there's certain areas in the house, like mirrors in my house, where they're definitely viewing me from. I can feel it. I can hear them. Yeah, they're viewing me from either mirrors or portals. And this shit's real. Like, don't sit there and tell me, oh, this stuff doesn't exist. Come on. Like, we are way past that now. The military does this kind of thing. So don't think for a second that, you know, people aren't doing it. Even like Google spiritual stuff online, you see all sorts of magic stuff happening. People doing astral stuff. So, you know, creepy as shit when it gets to this. And you've got like girls, and I say that because that's where a lot of my trauma has come in. They've been creeping a lot on my energy. I am not the only one that this happens to. I'm not the only one. There's like hair stuff going on where it feels like they're all grabbing like in my hair and trying to make my hair itchy and trying to like cause some sort of problems there. They've been like attacking my hairline, pulling my face down, like you name it. I'm not gonna sit here and rifle off the shit that these ferals have done, but as long as people know this is what happens, right? And they have nothing. They have nothing if you stand in your power, like nothing. And I did that, right? I slammed their ass. As they would put it, I won. No one's won here. Like that's a whole nother fucking video, this whole winning thing. Children have lost big time here. No one's won anything. But yeah, so I've, you know, slammed them. And yeah, we can't have that. We can't have this being broadcast. So let's do a little fakery, a little fuck-uppery, you know, make it seem like it's something it's not. So then this whole act's been put on, like, it's so deep, it's insane. I might have to have a break right now because it's like a ton of stuff going on.